Welcome, friend, to Dream Bites, a podcast where the magic of storytelling meets the power of imagination. Each episode is a warm invitation to explore a world unlike any other, carefully crafted to transport you to new realms of wonder. So, find a cozy spot, settle in, and let the friendly voice of our narrator be your guide on this exciting adventure. And now, dear listener, it's time to embark on today's delightful story.
Edna's Enormous Oops. Chapter 1. The Piggy Predicament. In the quaint, sun-kissed town of Sunnyvale, there lived a kind-hearted old woman named Grandma Edna. Known far and wide for her delectable apple pies and her unwavering compassion, Edna was the town's most beloved resident. But what truly set her apart were her three adorable pet pigs, Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon. The trio of pigs had captured the hearts of everyone in Sunnyvale with their playful antics and cute pink snouts. Children would gather around their pen, giggling as the pigs chased each other and rolled in the mud. Edna would watch them with a twinkle in her eye, her love for her porcine pals evident in every smile. One particularly beautiful morning, as the golden sun peeked over the horizon, Edna stepped out of her cozy cottage to feed her cherished pigs. The aroma of her freshly baked apple pie danced in the air, mingling with the earthy scent of the pig pen. "Rise and shine, my darlings," Edna called out, her voice as sweet as the cinnamon in her pies. But as she approached the pen, her heart sank. Instead of the usual enthusiastic oinks and wagging tails, she was met with an eerie silence. Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon lay motionless in the mud, their eyes dull and their snouts dry. Edna rushed to their side, her weathered hands gently stroking their soft pink skin. "Oh, my poor sweethearts, what's wrong?" she whispered, her voice trembling with concern. The pigs let out weak, pitiful oinks, their eyes pleading for help. In that moment, a distant memory flickered in Edna's mind, a peculiar ancient family recipe for a healing potion passed down through generations. She had never dared to use it before, but seeing her beloved pigs in such distress, she knew she had to try. With a determined stride, Edna hurried back to her cottage and rummaged through dusty old books until she discovered the faded recipe card. The ingredients were most unusual: a dash of moonlight, a whisper of wind, and a pinch of stardust. "Well, here goes nothing," Edna muttered, rolling up her sleeves. She set to work, meticulously measuring and mixing the mystical components. As the potion bubbled and swirled in the cauldron, an enchanting shimmering light filled her kitchen. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky, Edna carefully poured the glittering liquid into 3 small bottles. With hope blossoming in her heart, she rushed back to the pig pen. "Drink up, my loves," she cooed, gently guiding the bottles to their snouts. The pigs sniffed the potion curiously before slurping it down. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, a soft, mesmerizing glow enveloped the pigs, growing brighter and brighter until Edna had to shield her eyes. As the light faded, she blinked in astonishment. Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon were not only back on their feet, but had grown to the size of small ponies. Their eyes sparkled with renewed vitality, and their tails wagged with glee. "Oh my goodness!" Edna gasped, her voice a mixture of awe and apprehension. "What have I done?" Little did Grandma Edna realize that her act of love was about to lead her and the entire town of Sunnyvale on an unforgettable adventure, filled with laughter, chaos, and the true spirit of community. The giant pigs were about to turn this sleepy little town upside down, and Edna was in for the ride of her life. Chapter 2. Giant Pigs on the Loose. As the golden sun climbed higher in the clear blue sky, Grandma Edna stared in wide-eyed wonder at her now colossal pigs. Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon snorted and grunted, their enormous hooves stomping the ground with unbridled excitement. The once sturdy fence of their pen creaked and groaned under their immense weight, until with a resounding crack, it splintered into 1,000 pieces. The giant pigs, overjoyed with their newfound freedom, bounded out of the shattered pen and into the unsuspecting streets of Sunnyvale. Grandma Edna, her silver hair whipping in the wind, chased after them, her flowery apron fluttering behind her as she called out, "Hamlet! Porky! Bacon! Come back here, you rascals!" But the pigs, their curly tails wagging with unbridled glee, paid no heed to Edna's pleas. They gallumped down Main Street, their thunderous steps sending vibrant flower pots and mailboxes flying in their wake. Startled townspeople gawked and gasped as the enormous pigs trotted by, their jaws dropping in disbelief at the sight of the towering trotters leaving hoofprints the size of dinner plates in the soft, sun-warmed asphalt. Mayor Thomas, a jolly, rotund man with a bushy, walrus-like moustache, stumbled out of the red brick town hall, nearly dropping his steaming mug of morning coffee at the extraordinary sight before him. "Great balls of bacon!" he exclaimed, his eyes bulging behind his wire-rimmed spectacles. "What in the name of pork chops is going on here?" Grandma Edna, her cheeks flushed and her chest heaving from the exertion of chasing her oversized pets, panted, "I'm so sorry, Mayor Thomas. I gave them a potion to help them feel better, but it made them grow like Jack's beanstalk." The pigs, blissfully unaware of the commotion they were causing, continued their merry romp through the heart of Sunnyvale. They poked their curious snouts into store windows, their nostrils flaring as they sniffed at the tantalizing scents of freshly baked bread and sweet, sticky cinnamon rolls wafting from the town's beloved bakery. They even playfully nudged a parked car, sending it rolling down the street like a child's toy, its horn honking in protest. As the bewildered townspeople watched the spectacle unfold, some with amusement twinkling in their eyes and others with alarm creasing their brows, Mayor Thomas attempted to maintain order amidst the chaos. "Everyone remain calm!" he shouted, his arms waving frantically above his head like a conductor attempting to bring a wayward orchestra under control. "We'll round up these giant piggies in no time." But the pigs, their hearts set on adventure, had other plans. They spotted the lush green grass of the town park and squealed with delight, their voices booming like foghorns as they bounded towards the inviting expanse. Children scattered like marbles, their gleeful laughter ringing out through the warm summer air as the pigs playfully chased them in a game of impromptu tag, their giant hooves leaving deep impressions in the soft earth. Grandma Edna, her heart swelling with a mixture of love and exasperation for her mischievous pigs, couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of the joyful chaos unfolding before her. She knew she had to find a way to return them to their normal size, but for now, she marveled at the unexpected excitement and wonder they had brought to the ordinarily tranquil town. As Hamlet, Porky and Bacon continued their gleeful rampage, the people of Sunnyvale slowly came to the realization that their once predictable morning had taken a most extraordinary turn. Little did they know, the adventures of the giant pigs were only just beginning, and their sleepy little town would never be quite the same again, forever touched by the magic and hilarity of this unforgettable day. Chapter 3. The Towering Trotter's Misadventures. As the sun climbed to its zenith, bathing the quaint town of Sunnyvale in a warm, golden glow, the giant pigs continued their playful romp through the streets. Grandma Edna, her heart swelling with a mixture of worry and amusement, followed close behind, her flowery apron fluttering in the gentle breeze as she tried to keep her beloved pets out of mischief. Hamlet, the largest of the trio, spotted a group of children playing in the lush green park. With a joyful snort that echoed through the air like a trumpet, he trotted over to join them, his massive hooves shaking the ground with each step. The children, their eyes wide with initial astonishment, soon erupted into peals of laughter as Hamlet nuzzled them gently with his soft pink snout, his warm breath tickling their rosy cheeks. "Look! It's a big friendly piggy!" one little girl exclaimed, her pigtails bouncing as she hugged Hamlet's leg with delight, her tiny arms barely reaching around his girth. Meanwhile, Porky and Bacon, their nostrils twitching at the enticing aroma of fresh vegetables, discovered the community garden nestled behind a white picket fence. They eagerly squeezed through the gate, their bulky bodies barely fitting between the slats, the wood creaking under their immense weight. Once inside, they began munching on the ripe, juicy tomatoes and crisp green lettuce, their contented grunts mingling with the gentle buzz of bees and the distant chirping of birds. "Oh my goodness!" cried Mrs. Abernathy, the head gardener, her sun hat askew as she spotted the pigs amidst the rows of vegetables. But as she watched them happily tending to the weeds with their nibbling, a smile slowly spread across her weathered face. "Well, I suppose they're helping in their own special way." As news of the giant pig's antics spread like wildfire through Sunnyvale, the townspeople gathered to witness the extraordinary spectacle. Some brought their cameras, eager to capture the once-in-a-lifetime sight of enormous pigs roaming the streets, while others simply marveled at the whimsical scene unfolding before their eyes. Just then, a frightened meow pierced the air, causing the crowd to gasp. A tiny kitten, its fur a patchwork of orange and white, clung desperately to a branch high up in a towering oak tree, its little paws trembling with fear. Without hesitation, Bacon trotted over to the tree and, with a gentle nudge of his snout, lifted the kitten onto his broad back. The kitten, now safe and sound, purred contentedly as Bacon carried it back to its grateful owner, a little boy with tears of joy glistening in his eyes. "They're heroes!" someone shouted from the crowd, and a resounding cheer erupted, the sound reverberating through the streets of Sunnyvale. Grandma Edna, watching the heartwarming scene with a mix of pride and concern, turned to her dear friend, Miss Louise, who stood beside her, her silver hair gleaming in the sunlight. "As much as I love seeing them like this, spreading joy and laughter, we need to find a way to get them back to their normal size," Edna said, her brow furrowed in thought. Miss Louise, a retired science teacher with a keen, inquisitive mind, nodded in agreement. "You're right, Edna. Let's put our heads together and see if we can come up with a solution. I'm sure between your knowledge of ancient remedies and my understanding of science, we'll find a way." As the two friends brainstormed, their heads bent close in deep conversation, the giant pigs continued their misadventures, inadvertently bringing the community together in the most delightful, unexpected ways. The people of Sunnyvale began to realize that sometimes the most extraordinary events could forge unbreakable bonds and create memories that would last a lifetime. But as the sun began its slow descent towards the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Grandma Edna knew time was of the essence. She had to find a way to shrink her beloved pigs before their size caused any real trouble. With a determined glint in her eye and a spark of inspiration in her heart, she set off to work on a plan, knowing that the true magic of Sunnyvale lay not just in her pigs, but in the strength, unity, and love of its people, who stood ready to face any challenge that came their way, together. Chapter 4. The Great Pig Shrinking Experiment. As the sun began its lazy descent, painting the sky in vibrant shades of orange and pink, Grandma Edna and Miss Louise huddled together in the cozy kitchen. The aroma of freshly brewed tea mingled with the comforting scent of old books as they pored over ancient texts, searching for a solution to their oversized pig problem. "Edna, look at this!" Miss Louise exclaimed, her finger tapping a faded page in a dusty alchemy book. "A recipe for a shrinking solution, hidden right here in these pages. It's a complex blend of herbs and minerals, but I think we can make it work." Edna leaned closer, her eyes sparkling with newfound hope. "You're brilliant, Louise. Let's gather the ingredients and get started right away. Every moment counts." As the two friends bustled about the kitchen, measuring and mixing, a knock at the door interrupted their work. Edna opened it to find Jimmy, a curious boy from down the street, standing on the porch, his eyes wide with excitement. "Grandma Edna," Jimmy said, bouncing on his toes, "I heard about the giant pigs. Can I help catch them, please?" Edna smiled, her heart warmed by the boy's eagerness. "Why, of course, Jimmy. We could use a brave helper like you, but remember we must be gentle and patient with the pigs. They're not trying to cause trouble." With Jimmy by their side, Edna and Louise set off to round up the giant pigs. They found Hamlet snoring beneath a big oak tree, his massive belly rising and falling with each breath. Porky was wallowing in a mud puddle, his contented grunts echoing through the air. And Bacon, well, he was chasing butterflies in a field of wildflowers, his giant hooves leaving deep imprints in the soft earth. Jimmy, armed with a bag of giant marshmallows, carefully approached each pig, holding out the sweet treats and coaxing them to follow him back to Grandma Edna's yard. The pigs, their nostrils quivering at the enticing aroma, trotted after him, their tails wagging with delight. As they reached the yard, the townspeople had already begun to gather, their faces filled with anticipation and wonder. Grandma Edna and Miss Louise carefully poured the shimmering shrinking solution into 3 large troughs, the liquid glinting in the fading sunlight. "Attention, everyone!" Edna called out, her voice ringing with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. "We're about to attempt the Great Pig Shrinking Experiment. Please stand back and keep your fingers crossed." The crowd fell silent, the air thick with suspense. Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon sniffed the troughs curiously before slurping down the solution, their ears twitching with pleasure at the oddly sweet taste. Seconds ticked by, feeling like hours as everyone held their breath. Suddenly, a soft glow began to envelop the pigs, growing brighter and brighter until the entire yard was bathed in a dazzling light. The townspeople shielded their eyes, gasping in awe at the incredible sight before them. When the light finally faded, Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon stood before them, once again their normal size. They blinked, appearing slightly disoriented, before letting out joyful oinks and nuzzling Grandma Edna's legs with affection. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause, their relief and happiness palpable in the air. Grandma Edna and Miss Louise embraced each other, tears of joy streaming down their faces, as Jimmy beamed with pride, knowing he had played a part in this extraordinary adventure. As the townspeople slowly dispersed, heading home to share the incredible tale with their families, Grandma Edna gazed lovingly at her pigs, her heart swelling with gratitude for the remarkable community she called home. She knew that the bonds forged during this unforgettable experience would last a lifetime, a testament to the power of love, friendship, and the magic that can be found even in the most unexpected of places. Chapter 5. A celebration of enormous proportions. As the sun rose over the sleepy town of Sunnyvale, its golden rays danced across the rooftops and through the windows of the quaint little houses. But this was no ordinary morning. The air buzzed with excitement as the townspeople began to stir, their hearts filled with joy and anticipation for the grand celebration that lay ahead. In the heart of the town square, a huge banner fluttered in the gentle breeze, its bold letters proclaiming, "Hooray for Grandma Edna and her marvellous pigs." Beneath the banner, tables groaned under the weight of mouth-watering pies, colourful cakes, and steaming plates of sausages and bacon. Grandma Edna stood at the centre of it all, her eyes sparkling with happiness. Her beloved pigs, Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon, now back to their normal size, oinked contentedly by her side. Children giggled and petted the pigs' soft pink snouts, their faces alight with wonder. "Can you believe it?" Edna murmured to her dear friend Miss Louise. "Just yesterday they were giant pigs rampaging through the town, and now look at them, the stars of the show." Miss Louise chuckled softly, her silver hair glinting in the sunlight. "It just goes to show, Edna, that sometimes the biggest surprises come in the most unexpected packages." As the celebration kicked into high gear, Mayor Thomas clinked a spoon against his glass, calling for attention. "Friends, neighbours, and fellow pig enthusiasts," he began, his moustache twitching with mirth, "we are gathered here today to honour the bravery, ingenuity, and unwavering spirit of our very own Grandma Edna." The crowd erupted in cheers, their applause echoing through the town square. Edna felt a blush creep across her cheeks, her heart swelling with gratitude. "But let us not forget," the mayor continued, "the true heroes of this story, Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon. These remarkable pigs have taught us that even the wildest adventures can bring a community together and remind us of the power of love and laughter." As the mayor's words faded, the townspeople surged forward, embracing Edna and her pigs. Laughter and happy tears mingled as they shared stories of the incredible journey they had all been a part of. Young Jimmy tugged at Edna's sleeve, his eyes shining with admiration. "Grandma Edna," he said, "can I be a pig whisperer like you when I grow up?" Edna laughed, ruffling the boy's hair affectionately. "Oh, Jimmy," she replied, her voice warm and gentle, "you can be anything you set your mind to. Just remember, the greatest magic of all comes from the love and kindness we share with others." As the celebration stretched on into the night, the people of Sunnyvale danced and laughed beneath the twinkling stars. Hamlet, Porky, and Bacon, not to be outdone, put on a delightful display of their own, performing a synchronized dance that had everyone in stitches. And though the giant pig adventure had come to an end, the memories and the lessons learned would stay with the townspeople forever, a testament to the unbreakable spirit of a community that had faced the impossible and emerged stronger, happier, and more united than ever before. In the years that followed, the tale of Grandma Edna and her magical pigs would be retold countless times, becoming a cherished part of Sunnyvale's history. And whenever the town faced a challenge, they would remember the wisdom of that unforgettable day, that with love, laughter, and a little bit of magic, anything is possible. The end.
And there you have it, dear listener. Another enchanting journey brought to life by the magic of storytelling. We hope that this tale has sparked your imagination and left you with a sense of wonder. As we close this chapter, remember that there's always another story waiting to be discovered. So keep your sense of curiosity alive and join us again for the next episode of Dream Bites. Until then, may your own adventures be filled with the same excitement and delight as the ones we've shared here. And always remember, the power of imagination knows no bounds. Thank you for being a part of the Dream Bites story. See you next time.
Close your eyes, let your mind ignite. A universe of stories shining bright. Imagination stays